All right, Panther fans, surprise, surprise. We weren't sure if Stu was going to be able to be with us, but here he is. Not happy Stu, not cigar Stu, certainly not sitting on his front porch in his flip-flops with the garbage men going by Stu, but we got Stu here anyway, and what I know is he won't fall asleep. So we've got to wake Stu. We've got to wake Stu. Um, well,
Disgusted, Stu.
I've already had my say this morning. Was yeah. So go ahead, buddy, go for it.
Nothing. I mean, if anybody watched that game last night, the way it ended is not the way it's supposed to end. Let's put it that way. Some guys came to play, some didn't. I'm not going to get into a whole big analysis of the game. I'm tired. I'm punchy. Probably not going to watch tonight's game because my body is just like.
You need sleep.
I mean, think about this, guys. I've been like pretty much up since I got here, and my daughter thinks I'm nuts to be waiting up till 4:30, 5 o'clock in Israel time for a hockey game that I could probably wait a couple of hours and watch a replay of.
Right.
So she asked me not to stay up tonight, and I'm actually supposed to take her and my son-in-law out for some sushi, and I think I'm going to do that, and I'm not going to worry about the game. If I catch some of the game, I catch some of the game.
Right.
I'm really dedicated to doing these reviews and whatnot, but I think you guys will forgive me if I miss one.
Yeah.
And that's the way I feel. I mean, if we had come out solid last night and, revenge the, granted, we won the game in San Jose, but it was another shit effort. So I will take one good takeaway from that game last night, and that was they finally woke up and put Reinhart with Lundell, which, we've been saying that forever till we were nauseous.
Yeah.
So that was good.
And Reinhart had a hell of a pass to loose to Reiner on his goal, which.
Yeah, I mean, listen, as I said in the tweet or wherever I put the comment, give it a couple of games, 2-3 games for them to get back. I mean, Reinhart and Lundell have it. It's just I want to see the Luosterainen piece. Even though Luosterainen and Lundell are playing good together, you add the Reinhart element in there. So anyway, but
what's your
I just don't know what happened. 3 times last night we score and then we let LA right back in the game.
Right.
So obviously the ref took a goal away from us. That was bullshit. Okay. I didn't see no goalie interference. I mean, Tkachuk is right on the line where it's, open territory. He isn't in the blue paint. He's entitled to that space.
No, the absurdity is that they reviewed that and the call stood. That's the thing to me. That I mean,
no, it went against us.
Well,
it was worse. We ended up getting a penalty and they scored.
Yeah, but I mean, the original call was no goal, and the call stood. They kept the call on the ice as no goal.
The original call was no goal,
right?
But no penalty, no goalie interference penalty on us.
No,
and that's what they called.
Penalty. Stu, we didn't get the penalty because of goalie interference. We get the penalty because
we challenged it
because of the challenge, the lost challenge. That's what the penalty is. Which should have been a reverse call. I mean, Tkachuk is outside the paint, which, by the way, on a complete other topic, Huberto is trending on Twitter right now because the Flame fans are in complete meltdown about his terrible play. But that's a different story. It's a different subject for a different video, but I needed you to smile this morning. So there's at least a smile.
It's not our problem anymore.
Yeah, I feel that's something that my marriage counselor told me to tell my ex, which I never did. But It was not a good counselor, and she, when I said she's complaining about this, complaining about that, my marriage counselor told me to look at my wife and say, I fail to see where that's my problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Needless to say, even I'm not dumb enough to say that. So I did it. But yeah, in terms of humor, though, I failed to see where that's my problem.
It's not my problem.
Right.
My problem is right now winning hockey games. I didn't think Bob, I don't want to rag on him, but Bob let in a couple of goals last night he shouldn't have. And he's let in some goals in the last 3 games that he shouldn't have had. So not happy with the way he's been playing. You got to include that Chicago game. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I'll just leave it at that. I'm sorry, guys. I got to keep it really short today.
Yeah,
because I'm just the batteries.
The batteries run out.
Batteries need changing.
Stu.exe is malfunctioning. Yes. No, the last, what you're talking about, what you're thinking about is that last goal where Bubba just didn't get over fast enough, and he left that skate off of the post instead up against the post, and it went in. I'm curious if you are seeing the same thing I'm seeing. I won't get into the Barkov thing because I already made a video about that.
You can.
But I'm more curious about. I'm noticing something that I didn't notice before with Bobrovsky that I think is new, and I'm noticing when he's given up a goal, his body language, he's so dejected and he's so upset and he's barely getting himself up. He's getting up really slow and dejected. I don't remember that before. And
that's because last year we could get 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 goals, and he didn't have to worry about letting in a couple.
Right.
That team's gone, Bob. Bye. We ain't getting you for minimum 4 goals a game. It ain't happening.
Right.
So you better stop some pucks.
Right.
Spencer Knight should have, better be in net today.
Yeah, well, you got to figure you're going to see Knight. And I did mention that in the other video, is that it might just be time to start thinking about an even split. It's not like Knight has been worlds better, but he is about 3/4 of a goal per game better. It's a small sample size. So I'm not sitting here, I don't want anybody saying, I'm not saying, Bobrovsky's the backup and Knight's ready, but a 50-50 split, the way things are going right now, until one guy gets hot, right? It's just about the 3rd or 4th game in a row now where it's hard, because it's not like Bob looks terrible, because some of the goals, let's face it, the one goal went off the Sharks' stick, off of Montour's skate, and past Bob, right? So, it's hard to really just throw the goaltender under the bus when that happens.
But he can't keep letting goals. He can't keep letting the team back in the game. I could see a goal being scored 9 minutes after we score.
Right.
But to let a goal in less than a minute or less than 2 minutes or whatever, that short time frame when we've taken the momentum away, probably silenced the crowd if they had one. And then all of a sudden you let in a shit goal that shouldn't have gone in.
Right.
So let's talk about the 2 seconds of your recap that I caught, that you were making the point of, which I agree with you 1,000%, and that's our captain not hustling.
Right.
Getting into the play and a goal is scored. I'll have to look at it 10 more times to see if my first impression of him not giving a shit is my real impression.
Right. Well, and I watched it, but I'm just saying,
he jumps over the boards, he jumps on the ice.
Right.
And it's like, okay, where do I go? There's a play in front of me. Oh, too late. They scored.
Yeah, it was really odd. Now, I'm sure that somebody will bring up the point that maybe Lundell should have taken that initial forward. And I'm not completely against that argument. Lundell was going to the puck and this could be one of those things where it's a communication thing. We've seen that with the forwards, maybe, but Barkov had plenty of time to see that whether or not you want to say Lundell was supposed to go to the man, Lundell didn't go to the man. And Barkov had plenty of time to see that, and he just coasted in. And I'm not saying that the goal was his fault, but, the Sharks player passed it to the other Sharks player. By the time that happens, if Bob would have kicked out a rebound, Gudas is on the floor. Lundell was kind of off to the side a little bit, and Barkov had just given up on the play. And that's my thing. I'm not blaming the goal on Barkov. I'm saying the captain gave up on the play before the pass was even taken that led to the shot that led to the goal. That's what you can't have that. And I don't understand the defense of that. I've already got people in the other video already kind of defending it. And I just don't know what this guy did where you just you can support a guy and say, yeah, that wasn't good. That you've got to play harder than that. But some of these people that are Barkov fans, no matter what he does, you can't get them to say that, hey, look, this is not okay, what he did here. And when that's your captain, that's amplified. And that's my point. I'm not blaming him for the specific goal, but he gave up on the play. I mean, long before the shot went off, and that can't happen. I don't care who you are. That can't happen. So that's
the ironic thing is that since Tkachuk's been put up on his line, and Barkov has come alive.
Right.
He's got a jump in his step, but so I was kind of surprised when you pointed that out to me.
Well, that was on the PK too.
Our forwards have been guilty about that. And every game there's a goal scored where a forward coasted back and didn't.
Right.
And Maurice has to whip these guys, man.
And for anybody that thinks that I'm just picking on Barkov, go watch the other almost every game. I've been bitching. Yep. This is the first time it's been Barkov. I've bitched at Luosterainen. I've bitched at Balcers. I've bitched at Hornquist. I've bitched. So this is not new.
So you know what that is now? It's goal line, blue line, goal line, red line, goal line.
Yeah.
Goal line, far blue line, back. It's wind sprints, buddy. It's Herb Brooks torture time. These guys got to learn if they're not going to, work hard 60 minutes, which means hustling on defense as soon as we turn the puck over.
Right.
And we're in the play to prevent goals, then you know what? Fuck you. You're going to do wind sprints.
Well, so
somebody's got to be held accountable.
Right. Right.
And everybody's been guilty of it.
At one point or another, yes. At one point or another, yes. That one stuck out to me because of how I saw it in the replay. And it just, it's one thing to coast. But the other thing that I brought up with that was his body language. He lowered his shoulders and was dejected about the play before the shot, before the pass that led to the shot.
And I'll have to look at it again, guys. I mean, Eric just showed it to me right before we turned the camera on, but his description is pretty clear to me. Like he doesn't look at all engaged in that play.
So, as a picture, and I kind of painted this at the end. So you got Barkov. We've seen him. He's got a couple of power play goals, but we've seen him not look okay. Bob looks super dejected every time he's letting up a goal. The other night, we heard Spencer Knight really giving himself grief for the one goal that he gave up because he missed it with his glove hand. It ended up costing us, even though he only gave up 2. We've seen Reinhart look frustrated and down, understandably. My concern is that is this coaching? Is Maurice being so hard on these guys that he's being too hard, and is it just something they're going to have to learn to adjust to? Because I think I'm seeing more than just the Barkov thing. I'm seeing other players act in ways that I've not seen them act before. The Bobrovsky thing is concerning. He's usually a guy that gets back up, drinks his water bottle. You know what I mean? He's staying down, he's hanging his head, and then he's like putting, when you put your hand on your knee to help you, his body language is screaming. So I'm wondering if it's more of a team thing, and what I saw with Barkov is just a symptom of something else. If somebody wants to take the blame off of Barkov, as an individual, to me,
that's what we got the comment section for.
Right.
But be honest with yourselves, guys, before you put a comment in there blasting us for what we see. Gotta have shit to back it up, man.
Especially without Stu getting in half.
Yeah, man, I'm punchy.
Yeah,
that's why I can't watch the game tonight. First of all, I'm in this like guest house type of thing.
Right.
It's a very quiet neighborhood.
Right.
People go to bed at 10 o'clock. So
yeah.
And I don't want to have the TV on loud. All I can say is we better win this game. I can't, that was my worry. Remember I said we go like 1-3-1 on this road trip. What do we have, 5 games?
I think it's just the 4. I think it's just 4. Because I was looking for 2-1-1.
Chicago. Huh?
Yeah. I think did we come home out? Anyway. Yeah, that's right about Chicago thing. Look, they're 6-5-1. Is that what we are right now? We are 6-5-1.
The thing that sucks is, man, we've given 3 games away. I mean, you would say we gave that game away last night, didn't?
I think I would say with this game, and I believe the Tampa game, we're definitely losing points where we shouldn't lose. Like some of these games that we're losing now would have definitely been overtime wins last year. We would have found a way to get that tying goal, and then in overtime we basically couldn't be beaten. So
I mean, I think we outplayed. I mean, we outplayed these guys, and then we let them back in. We let them in the game.
Right. Well,
and but Verhage, that boy,
Verhage.
He shut me up. He shut me up pretty good, huh?
Yeah, right.
He's saying, Stu, I may be a hog, but fuck you. 2 more goals.
Yeah, I'm the only one scoring right now, right? Yeah. So, look, I'm not worried yet. I don't think we're going to suddenly start giving up 5 a night. I'm concerned a little bit about Bobrovsky's play, and his body language right now is different than what I've seen before. I thought Barkov,
go with Spencer Knight until he loses.
Yeah. Right. And I thought Barkov was kind of out of that little slump he was in. Yes, he has the couple of goals. It's almost like Barkov is kind of turning into what Huberdeau was before last season, where he showing these bursts of energy and good play in spots, but then he's also got these other times where he just looks disinterested and disengaged. And like I said, I just wonder if there's something going on in the locker room, if there's something going on with the coaches, if there's something going on there, because I'm not surprised by our record, but we're getting outworked we're getting outworked too much. And I'm starting to wonder if the thing with the forwards not getting back on some of these plays, starting to wonder how much of it is they're not used to the system versus how willing are they to go back.
How about them being overplayed? Too much ice time for these top 2 lines, man.
Right.
You got 4 freaking lines. Roll them, no matter what happens.
That's roll a good point.
Right. You're playing the top 2 lines, and you're burning these guys out.
Okay.
And just wait for the playoffs. By the time the playoffs, they'll have nothing left.
Right.
That was always a knock on Maurice, and I guess we're learning the hard way.
Yeah.
One thing you can say about Burnett, man, he followed Q's system.
Right.
I mean, didn't make any changes, but still he rolled the 4 lines no matter what.
Right.
All right, granted, he put Huberdeau back with Barkov, to get things going. But for the most part, he did not burn. And maybe Barkov is already showing signs of burnout. Think about it. He's got his regular shift. Then he does PK. Then he does power play.
Right.
And then, he's always taking the critical offensive face-off.
Right. Right.
So I'd like to see what his true minutes are as opposed to like what his, minutes are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Well,
Montour too.
Yeah.
They made a point of saying it. Hey, Montour's never played more than 25 minutes a game. Now he's playing close to 30. I think they said he had 31 minutes in the game before last.
Jeez.
Not good.
Right. Yeah.
All right. We need Ekblad back.
Yeah, we need it. Right. No doubt there. So, all right, buddy. We're gonna let you get to sleep. Short and sweet. We got the Quackers tonight. I know Stu's not gonna be able to do too much. Oh, I gotta sneeze. I almost had to sneeze right there. I'm doing the Dolphin game with Kyle at 1 o'clock, and then we'll see what happens tonight. Matthias has not been real cooperative at night. Not going the way I thought it would go. So, but if nothing else, I'll still be back in the morning with something, and then hopefully Stu gets some sleep. We gotta get you. You got anything that you can? So take a sip of something, man.
Listen, I think I told you guys that I miscalculated. Thought I had another box or 2 boxes of cigars, which I didn't have, and now I don't have any. My son-in-law was actually supposed to take me somewhere today, but unbeknownst to him, the stores close at 5 o'clock.
Oh,
that's crazy, man. A liquor store with cigars closes at 5 o'clock.
Oh man.
Anyway, so I've been
cutting it out.
I've been doing without.
Yeah. When do you come home?
Thursday.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you need to definitely get some sleep, at least on that plane. That's for sure. So,
yeah.
All right, Panther fans. Comments, like Stu always says, go ahead and leave the comments. I'm here for all the Barkov defense. I know it's coming. I've been doing this a long time, and every time I say anything bad about Barkov, it's just not allowed. So I'm used to it. I would like somebody that's going to defend him. I asked this question in the previous video, and I would still like somebody to give me the answer. What has he done? What is the reason he is so above criticism beyond any other player? What exactly is it that he has done what is it about Barkov that if I bitch about Huberdeau or Lustenreinen or Reinhardt or anybody else, nobody cares. But you bitch about Barkov and suddenly it's all over. So I'm just curious that's a genuine question. Like why is he like the Lion King and everybody else's Scar? So
well, I don't know what in context you're talking about, or you're just talking about in general.
Yeah, I'm just talking about whenever I've made a video that complains about Barkov, usually I get numerous people. Anytime I bitch about Barkov, I'm told I bitch about Barkov too much. We'll just put it that way. So I'm just wondering what has he done that, why is it like that with just him and nobody else? That's all. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Appreciate all the support. I'll see you guys again in like an hour with the live stream for football. Stu, just please.
Maybe I'll make a surprise appearance tomorrow. Who knows? If I'm not,
get sleep. You need sleep, brother. You need sleep.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you again soon.